Hello everyone, welcome back to the Violet Hour. I'm Bilicium, and today we are continuing with Death Mark 2. In the last episode, we did things. It's so bad. I've been so busy this week and I've been running around like crazy, so I don't really remember. I don't remember what happened. What are you spacing out for? Let's hurry up and get out of here. Yeah. I guess we exit? We'll figure it out as we go, right? It's no big deal. I do love the fact that I'm like, I don't really remember what we're doing. And he's like, what are you spacing out for? I don't know why he's British, or whatever that accent was. After checking whether or not the door is locked, we leave the special building, and then we head to the main gate. For now, there's nothing we can really do about the red lights in the school. Oh, yeah. It, consumed the spirit and, leveled up. I remember now. If it is really a spirit's doing, everything should be back to normal once the sun rises. Oh no. By the way, Bilicium, give me back my paper bag. You can keep it if you like it so much, though. This feels sort of important. If I give it back, am I gonna be without a defense? If I don't give it back, am I gonna get caught by the cops? I'm gonna give it back. You can take it. Why would I want such a dangerous thing anyway? I take the gun from the paper bag and hand it back to Mashida. Lost suspicious paper bag. What in the world are you doing now? I just want to go home already. We're just leaving. And like that, we just left. Ooh. My car slowly leaves the school and heads towards M Tower Station. They should be able to catch the last train. I love this part of the games in all, in Deathmark and in NG. Like when they're riding the bike in NG, or when they're driving in the car and they kind of have a down moment where they can speak to each other. There's the sense of safety, we're getting away from the danger. And I love how they sort of just bring in this creeping feeling of it follows you. It's really, really cool. Say, Bilicium? Mashida murmurs in the passenger seat, eyes fixed on the scenery outside. I glance at him, indirectly telling him to continue. He must be tired. His complexion looks darker than usual. Kakuta went to the Fox Forest this evening. He got an order from MK Kroming. Yeah, he did. Don't you find that weird? Now that he mentions it, something about that doesn't feel right. The thought gets stuck in my mind. What's wrong with it? Kakuta's actions, Kuroman's orders, the message itself. Kuroman's orders, isn't he dead? What are you on about now? Kuroman had Kakuta protecting the secret of the Fox Akata, so there's nothing strange about Kakuta's going to the forest. It's the message that's weird. Yeah, because it was garbled and we couldn't read it. It's not the content. The issue is who sent it and when the message arrived. Kuroman died half a month ago. That's what I was saying. How did he send a message is what I was getting at. Oh, so it's pretty unlikely that MK is Coromine. The previous messages before Coromine's death must have been from him, but the message he got today was strange, even the fact that the text was garbled. In the first place, how could Kakuta even read that message when it was garbled? Everything's just so confusing. Hey. Hiru, who's sitting in the back seat, cuts in. Can you give it a rest already? This case is solved. I feel sorry for Kakuta, but what's done is done. But let's be grateful that we managed to survive tonight. Just focus on what you have to do, or else you'll go insane. Oh, Hiru. My job is dissecting animals, you see. There are times when I feel depressed after thinking about the value of life and the animals I've had to kill. I can't even pretend that all of the testing I've done is for the pursuit of science and the betterment of society. I'm not good at fooling people. Haha. I take a glance at the rearview mirror. Her smile looks somewhat self-deprecating. Do you know why I can continue doing my job? Because I realize that just how life works, and I gotta do what I need to do. We're not gods, we're not rulers. We can't save everyone. We can't just change the world. Remain silent. Can't find an answer. I don't blame you. It's nothing to get worked up about. Feeling unsure over something is just part of the human experience. I drop Mashida and Hiru off at M Tower Station. Then I drive on through the night, heading towards Koju Mansion. Home. As I arrive at the mansion, the phone rings. I can't even relax. Who's calling this late at night? Hello? It's Kinakawa. Sorry for calling so late. What's wrong? I can't stop thinking about Mr. Kokuri's case. Are you all right? I survived at least, but Kakuta's dead. Huh? The karate man? Yeah, I failed again. I share the night's events with Michio. I realize that I shouldn't talk about it with a student even though she is trying to help me. However, my mouth starts going before I can think about it, and it'd be more trouble to stop talking once I've started. Maybe I'm just too exhausted to care. Oh, I see. I get why you're blaming yourself, but it's not your fault. It's the Departed's. We need to put a stop to the Departed quickly. We'll help you figure out who it is. Why? Why are you still helping me after everything terrible you've gone through? Is it really just curiosity? At first, yeah. But now, I'm doing this because I don't want you to die. You saved our lives and you understand our curse. That made both of us so happy because we didn't think we'd ever have the guts to tell anyone about it again. Michio. Remember this, Mr. Bilicium. You're not just a teacher to both Himi and I. You're our precious teacher. Me, their precious teacher. I never expected anyone to call me that when I'd been told I'd have to fill in as a temporary teacher. I should feel some kind of pride over it. But it triggered a memory of something Mashida told me. What you should do is start looking at everyone around you as a potential suspect. Are you listening, Mr. Bilicium? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was spacing out a little bit. Guess I'm just exhausted from tonight. Well, that's natural. Sorry for taking your time. Have some rest. Good night. Suspect everyone, huh? That's tough to do. The night goes on, yet I can't bring myself to go to sleep. I'm afraid to close my eyes. No, afraid to even turn off the lights. My eyes flit over to the window displaying the moonlit night outside, triggering a memory from earlier tonight. The departed was roaming about with their new body. I recall what they said. And now, I'm convinced that you're my real husband. All these incidents must have been some sort of test to see if I'm worthy of being their husband. And it seems like those tests have ended tonight. The departed has acknowledged me as their real husband. The ending that the departed desires. I feel like the day is fast approaching when I'll be asked to exchange vows at the school grounds, and all lit in red. The following day at Koji Mansion. Hello? Eda, Nakamatsu here. Oh, hi, thanks for your help last night. What do you want? Actually, Miss Yasuka called me this morning to tell me something. The departed's figure is getting darker and darker each day. You should back away from this now. Oh. Coming from a spiritualist like Yasuka, those words would carry some serious weight. No wonder he's scared. Eda's information has really been a great help, but with all the people we've lost on this case, there's just no way I can try and talk him into risking his life to help me out. I got it. You were a great help. Thanks for all the work you did for me. Oh, I'll get back to teaching you how to work a computer once this case is all done. We'll start with internet use. That'll be something nice for you to look forward to, Bilicium. Yeah, thanks. This is fine. I leave the mansion and head to Konohara Academy. I have to report last night's events to Mr. Konoha. I enter the special building and walk toward the infirmary. As usual, there's nobody inside. I better go to the faculty room. Mr. Konoha is waiting for me. There are sacred objects in one corner of the room. Yasuka placed them there. I'm sure she intentionally left them here so I could make use of whatever I needed. How many am I missing? Number of lost souls you have is 2. Number of lost souls left in this chapter are 4. Oh. So we didn't start a new chapter. That's a little bit confusing, right? And I don't think I can do anything because I only have 2 and I need 3. Okay, but all right. faculty room we go. Since afternoon classes are still in session, the faculty room looks emptier than usual. Mr. Kanoa, who's sitting in the back of the room, notices my arrival. Ah, you're here, Bilicium. His voice sounds weak, but for some reason, his complexion doesn't look so good. Are you all right? I assume you are inquiring about my physical condition. No, I am not well. I've been feeling lethargic and sluggish all morning. Perhaps it's the ravages of stress taking a toll on my body. But that's enough about me. I heard you received a notice yesterday. How did the investigation go? I give him a detailed report about Mr. Kokura's case from beginning to end. The sour expression on his face as he listens to me recounting the events of last night tells me all I need to know. Goodness gracious. First Izumi, then Hirakoshi, now Kakuta. 3 students have gone missing under my watch, and yet again you failed to protect the targeted student. Apologize, justify yourself, remain silent. Remain silent. Oh my, can't even find the words to justify your poor performance. I suppose it's better than forcing me to listen to your pitiful excuses, though. Mr. Kanoa, you can fire me if you like, but how would you stop the departed then? Mr. Kanoa falls silent at my words. You're right. No matter how many valid complaints I have, it doesn't change the fact that you're the only hope I have of rectifying this situation. I let out an overtly exaggerated sigh. I understand the situation he's in. Plus, what else can I do other than threaten him to stop bothering me? However, one more victim and you'll be dismissed. Sakamoto has backed me into a corner. She's suspicious of you, especially in regards to Doryu and Kinakawa. But she's misunderstanding the situation. Your last chance, understood? Yeah. Good. That's all from me then. Don't let me down, Bilicium. I leave the faculty room, feeling Mr. Kanoa still staring daggers into my back. Honestly, I couldn't care less if Mr. Kanoa and Sakamoto suspect me. But if I get kicked off campus, I won't be able to investigate, and I know I'm the only one who can pursue the departed and bring this to an end. I can't afford to make any more mistakes. A chime sounds over the speakers. Looks like class is over already. What do I do now? I really want to start doing some investigating, but I have no idea where to start. The departed, who is still hiding at Kinoahara Academy, is playing their cards well. There don't seem to be any clues left. If I have to pick one spot that still has some ties to them, the clock tower seems like the prime spot. During summer vacation, Doryu and Michio saw the female doll in the red dress there. At that moment, their bodies were afflicted with a curse. If the departed was the one who caused it, then that tower is probably connected with them. There might be something in there. Maybe I can get some more info if I talk to her. Should I go visit her? Yes, maybe? Doryu is standing near the window where I enter the student council room. She notices my presence right away and turns to me. So you're here today. I heard about Kakuta and Michio. Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Say, Doryu, there's something I want to ask about the clock tower. That reminds me, I haven't told you about it yet. About what? I actually went to the clock tower during lunch break yesterday. What? You shouldn't be taking risks like that. Spirits don't show up during the day,
so it's fine. I didn't go inside, though. The door wouldn't open.
That's weird. Did someone lock it?
That's unlikely. The key to the clock tower is missing. Nobody's able to enter the clock tower right now, but it was open that night. Was that the departed's doing?
Probably. Looks like I can't investigate the clock tower just yet.
About that clock tower. One time, the clock tower doll I saw made the school newspaper. I was skimming through the school's old newspaper this morning, hoping to get information about the departed, and then I found an article about a female doll.
Mr. Kanoa told me the school's historical records were lost due to war damage. But for it to have been burned in the school newspaper archives. Aren't you squeamish when it comes to horror stories and the likes? What made you do that?
Oh, I just wanted to be of some help.
Thank you for your help. Tell me the details. Wow, what a blush. Wow, what a blush. Thank you for your help.
No problem. Glad to be able to hear that from you.
Can you tell me the details of that rumor?
Yes. There was a rumor going around Kinoahara Academy. "60 years ago, the first headmaster built the clock tower to commemorate the school's 10th anniversary. A stylish stone clock tower that stood tall in the remote countryside of Kinoahara. Many students were wondering what the inside of the tower was like. Overcome with curiosity, some eventually snuck into the tower. What they saw inside the tower was the first headmaster's collection. There were a lot of antique things, but the item that caught the attention of most people was a doll wearing a red wedding dress that lay on a stone altar. Rumors of the doll spread in no time because everyone was interested in its origin. However, the first headmaster had already passed away by the time, so he was unable to answer those burning questions. With nobody to tell the truth, wild speculation regarding the doll ran unchecked. The first headmaster, who'd always been fond of antique goods, had bought that doll from a European family. It's a curious doll that was modeled after young girls who became sacrifices. The first headmaster had a craftsman make the doll to enshrine the deity of Konohara. It's a doll made to claim the soul of a student who lost their fiancé and committed suicide. No definitive answer was ever found because there wasn't anyone around who knew the truth. In the end, everyone forgot about the doll in the clock tower once the war broke out. And that was the rumor featured in the school's newspaper. It's truly an interesting story, but the rumor has so many variations regarding the origin of the doll. Which one is the truth, if any?
Right, let me confirm one thing. Are there any rumors about the doll moving?
No, none at all.
Oh, okay. There are people who have seen the female doll, but not when she's moving. Guess I'm the only one who's witnessed it. I've got to go soon. Thanks, Doryu.
I hope that information could help you in some way. I have to head out. As well, the teachers told us not to stay at school.
I say goodbye to Doryu and leave the student council room. Rumors about the female doll has been added to the spirit file. The rumors of the clock tower involve a doll in a red wedding dress that is placed on an altar inside. However,
No one knows its origins. It's the same doll that shows up everywhere I go. I need to find out if the doll and the departed are related, in addition to a way to enter the clock tower itself. Yeah. All right, so we did the faculty room, we did the student. Let's go into the library. See if there's any... When I step into the library, I find a girl whose appearance clashes with this place. Hey, it's you again. Saki Marahashi. Sup? Kakuta didn't come to school today. You know anything about that? Sorry, no idea. There's no way I can tell Marahashi about Kakuta's death. What are you doing here? I'm just chilling here. I've got no place to go. Not after I learned how terrifying that corridor was. Then you should just go home. Didn't the teachers tell you not to hang out here after class? Who knows, maybe something weird will happen to you again. Stop acting like a teacher and don't freak me out like that. I was about to go home anyway. My body just feels really heavy somehow today. Are you gonna stay until night again? If you do, be careful. I have a bad feeling. I say goodbye to Marahashi and leave the library. Interesting. We got to see her. So let's go back to the infirmary. Probably nobody will be here. There's still some time left until the students have to go home. Let's go to the special building. Maybe there's someone there. Interesting. We did the student, we did the faculty, we did the library. Maybe we go to the new building now? I'm gonna check through and then I'm gonna go to the new building. I will probably cut this out if there's no new information. There's no one here, let's go somewhere else, okay? When I enter the faculty room for the second time, I see Sakamoto inside. Still plaguing our school, are you, Mr. Bilicium? I asked Mr. Konoha to do away with you, though. Oh, don't worry. He heard you. He told me that I'll be dismissed if I make another mistake. That Konoha is far too lenient. If an incident occurs, it'll be too late. We need to deal with this problem quickly. By problem, are you referring to the departed's investigation, my qualifications as a teacher, the Duryu and Konoha thing? Good to know you understand it yourself. I don't know what kind of nonsense you've concocted in the skull of yours, but I assure you there's nothing going on. I have no intentions of doing anything untoward with any students. And yet, an incident can still occur, even without a teacher having any such intentions. Just like Mr. Himuro's. Heroes, the art teacher Sakamoto told me about when I was investigating Slit-mouthed Kashima. Both Kashima and Manabe had a crush on him, which spiraled into tragic consequences. I've warned Duryu and Kinakawa not to get close to you, but seeing them defend you so fervently, the situation is getting dangerous. That's what my intuition as a woman is telling me. Let me repeat it again. This is all just a big misunderstanding on your part. I've warned you, Mr. Bilicium. If you'll excuse me then. Ouch! Sakamoto grimaces, pressing her finger to her temple. Hey, are you all right? Leave me be. I've been having terrible headaches since this morning. This is all your fault. You're... Mumbling invective at me, Sakamoto hurriedly stumbles out of the faculty room. Jeez, A big sigh escapes my lips. There's nothing I can do about it. I have to investigate the departed. And sometimes, the only way I can make progress is by getting the students' cooperation. I shouldn't refrain from asking them. The school will be closing shortly. All students, please promptly vacate the school grounds for today. It's finally time for students to leave school. I head back to the infirmary and try to come up with some kind of strategy for tonight. Harukai, Abe. Welcome back, Mr. Bilicium. What are you doing here, Abe? School ended a while ago. You better go home now. Goodness, that is too much. I'm not asking for grand gesticulations of friendship, but it wouldn't hurt you to be a tad bit kinder, you know. After all, I have come all the way here to provide you with information regarding the departed. Come again? With the lack of a notice and no new pertinent information, I am pretty desperate. Let's give him a listen for now. All right, I'm listening. Tell me more. Before we get to the meat of my report, there's something I'd like to tell you. This will be my final act of assistance. I shall cease pursuing the departed after this. Oh, really? What's with the sudden decision? I saw something with my left eye. I witnessed my own tragic end, assaulted by a terrifying demon with numerous legs. By demon with numerous legs, I assume he must be referring to some kind of bug. If you want to deride me from my cowardice, feel free to do so. But I won't die if I abandon my pursuit now. My master has also warned me to do so. I'm not going to laugh at you. You've made a wise decision. However, it seems like you have not been afforded the same option. You cannot run from the departed any longer. So this is my parting gift to you as you take another step closer to death. Thank you. The departed, a name we learned through the notices. However, that sinister name has existed since long before we first heard of it. 100 years ago, before Konohara Academy was even founded, a dark incident occurred in these lands. There was a small village called M-Town near Konohara. At some point, residents of M-Town succumbed to an unknown disease one by one. In the end, the village was destroyed, and the incident was forgotten. But one of the residents said this before they died. This is the departed's wrath. This is the most valuable information I've ever found. That's some interesting information. Where did you learn it? From the former headmaster. He liked to study the school's history during his spare time. When the first notice arrived, I went to him and asked if he knew something. So he told you about the departed's wrath? Yes, it sounded like a mere ghost story to him more than anything. He was a realist. He didn't believe in the departed. If I remember correctly, the headmaster died of a heart attack, didn't he? Yes. If he were still alive, you might have learned more valuable information from him. Right after the departed's notice first arrived, The only person who knew about their past died. Another convenient coincidence. Well, I shall be going home soon. To tell you the truth, I've been feeling under the weather. Perhaps I'm possessed. Now that I think about it, I've heard similar complaints from a lot of people today. It could just be an outbreak of some disease, but the event of last night suddenly crossed my mind. What if the departed's transformation now gives them the power to not only affect the school, but humans as well? Or am I overthinking things? Mr. Bilicium, the gruesome death I saw with my left eye also applies to you. What awaits you is an inevitable catastrophe. I hate to see the great spirit doctor lose his life this way. Please do something about it. After despondently speaking those words, Abe leaves the room. I guess I'll take that as a sign that he's really worried about me. The sun sets and darkness falls on Konohara Academy. How many times have I greeted the night here? Why is the phone ringing now? Hello?
It's me, Michiho Kinakawa. Thank goodness you're still at the school.
What's wrong?
Just wanted to ask if you made any progress with your investigation. I'm curious. I'm in front of the school now. Mind coming out?
I don't mind, but we could just talk over the phone.
Oh, geez. It's fine, isn't it? I'll be waiting then.
Sakamoto just gave me that warning today. Oh well, I have no choice since I made a promise. Should I head to the main gate now? There's no one in the infirmary to talk to. Stop trying to talk to yourself. To the new building we go. Hi-ho, hi-ho. Do you think that was the departed calling me? They do so love to call. The lights in the hallway are glowing red. Given the lack of commotion right now, I'm guessing nobody's noticed yet. Oh well, it's pretty hard to miss, so someone's going to notice it sooner or later. It's locked, the door won't open. And now we know. I'm getting that foreboding feeling walking down the hallway in the red lights. Will I make it to Michiho? Will I be stopped before then? Who knows? It's a bit terrifying, really. My curiosity. I just want to know if it says the same thing. Okay. All right. Michio's waiting in front of the main gate. The moment she sees me, she rushes over like a puppy. Good evening, Mr. Bilicium. You look tired today. Too. Not surprised, though. How are you feeling? Same old, same old. A bit tired since I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately. Never mind that. How's your investigation going? Did you learn any new facts? Not a lot, but I tell her about the story of the departed's wrath that I heard from Abe. Wrath of the Departed? That sounds like something from a fantasy novel. Did the previous headmaster tell you anything? Nope. I wasn't particularly close to him. I'm student council vice president, but I usually just have Himi deal with the teachers. Oh, okay. There's something that caught my attention. I remember M-Town coming up on one of the cases somehow. Now that she mentioned it, the name does sound somewhat familiar. In which case, did the name M-Tower show up? Slit-mouthed Kishima. I recall what happened when we were investigating Slit-mouthed Kishima. Yeah, I feel like I saw that name during Slit-mouthed Kishima's investigation. Where did I see the name M-Town? School newspaper, graduation album, bus route map. I try to remember what was written on the bus route map I saw. Bingo, one of the bus stops I saw that time was M-Town Shop. I immediately let Michio know about it. Oh, you're right. You sure have a good memory. If the owner is the descendant of an M-Town resident, they might have some documents from the past. I'll try going to M-Town Shop. Sure, let's go there together. Wait a minute. You're coming with me? Of course I am. But don't you have a curfew? No need to worry. Amy can handle it. The dorm manager trusts her, you know. That's not the issue, though. I don't want to leave you alone. Carrying these burdens all by yourself just seems really tough. Tough, huh? I guess it is. Mr. Kano's ultimatum, Sakamoto's hostility, Abe's prediction of death, the departed constantly targeting me, the students I couldn't protect, Damien's unconscious in a hospital bed. My heart is screaming from all the weight it's bearing, but I've chosen to close my ears and ignore it. I know I can't help carry all the heavy baggage, mister, but I can at least help you relax a bit. I'm begging you. I'm not asking for too much. Michio Kinakawa has joined the investigation. Her kindness tastes as sweet as honey to my exhausted mind. Except, there's a chance that she might be the departed. Michio and I climb into the car. I park near the school. M-Town Shop isn't too far from here. I park my car nearby and walk toward the bus stop in front of M-Town Shop. Abe doesn't like Michio, but he is aware of her. Doryu seems to be best friends with her. Or does she? Yes. I'm trying to remember what Doryu says about Michio. And then she doesn't deal with the principal. The principal doesn't really speak about her. He does, though. Okay. So she's not like a phantom. They are aware of her presence. Okay. This shop is so creepy. The building is run down and there's no sign of life inside. Doesn't look like anyone actually lives here. Well, find out for sure once we check it out. I hear footsteps. So, a crooked guardrail and a slanted pole. Looking at the brake marks on the road, it seems like there is a car accident here. Safe driving is important. You should take that to heart, Mr. Bilicium. I feel like you're not the departed. I feel like you're too obvious of a choice. What I do think, though, I think that Doryu may in fact be kind of like implanted in. Good leg stretch? There's an old mailbox hanging on the wooden wall. When I peer inside, I find a postcard. I wonder what it's a postcard of. Let's check it out. It's for our investigation. Why are you being so casual about everything? Without responding, and before I can tell her to stop, Michio already got her hands on the mailbox lid.
Huh. It's not opening. Is it locked? I don't see any keyhole, though.
Hey, there's a telephone number. 042643008. There's a faded paper with the word morning on it pasted to the glass door.
Isn't this a morning notice? I think they hang it on the house and they're supposed to remove it after 49 days.
You sure know a lot of strange things, huh?
When my grandma died, one of my relatives told me about it. But does that mean someone here passed away sometime in the past 7 weeks?
I suppose it would imply that. The other side of this dusty glass door is pitch black, preventing us from seeing inside of the store from this vantage point. What's going on here? I heard an eerie male voice coming from inside the shop. Kora, Kora. I wonder if that's how cola is pronounced. Like in Japanese, like when you say cola, if it's like instead of the L, it's an R sound. Kind of like ramen isn't really an R, it's like a double L. So, yeah, interesting. A vending machine with bottled water inside, a rare sight these days. Judging by the lack of any light and the fact that it's not making any sort of mechanical sounds, it seems like it's no longer in use.
This vending machine is kind of rare, isn't it? It's got bottles of water. Is it out of order? Geez, what a shame. I wanted to buy one for nostalgia.
I can't stop thinking about the voice I heard just now. I wonder who's inside. Inspect. There's no bell anywhere around the store. We'll just have to knock on the door to see if there's someone inside. Knock. Ugh, that was a horrible knocking sound. There's no response.
Maybe they're asleep. Let's try it again.
Still no response. I don't like it.
Let's give it one last try. 3rd time's the charm, right? Knock 3 times, huh?
Yeah.
My head. My head. My head.
A scene suddenly flashes before my eyes, and that scene is of an elderly man lying on the ground of an old store. His head is deformed and swollen to a point of becoming gelatinous. Swarms of centipedes continue to issue forth from his eyes. Bugs? Bugs. Bugs. This is the departed's wrath. The moment he stops speaking, his body also stops twitching. All that movement in the dark now are the bugs. I wonder what caused this to happen. I can no longer hear any response coming from his gaping mouth. There is one thing that I'm dead certain about. He said this was the departed's wrath.
What's wrong?
I saw what happened. The owner of the shop, he was probably killed by the departed's wrath. I described the vision I saw to Michiho.
So the person that was being mourned was that old man you saw then?
I guess so, yeah. But they had the mourning notice up, which means they had a funeral. And that means his corpse must have been found. That's odd because the other victims' corpses disappeared. How could that be? Didn't Kakuta's corpse remain too, though? Maybe there are times when they don't need to get rid of the corpse or something. I don't understand. This is just a guess, but the departed wants to continue this whole little notice game. If there's actually a dead body found at the school, the police will come. There's a chance that the school will be closed, and then there won't be any students, so maybe they only discard the corpses at school. But Manabe's body was also disappeared, and she didn't die at the school. That one was probably because of you, though. With the corpse in the hospital, the cops probably would have arrested you. And that also not something the departed wants. That actually makes sense, since I'm supposed to be their husband. And this ends my sloppy deduction. Thank you for listening. Although she doesn't think too highly of her reasoning, I have to admit that it does make sense. This corpse was found outside the school and had no ties to me, therefore it remained. Why was he cursed, though? I'm not so sure, but maybe it's because he was a descendant of an M-Town resident? M-Town was destroyed by the departed's wrath. While we don't know what exactly happened there, the wrath still remains, and it killed the old man. What was that sound? It came from the mailbox. Ho ho ho! They are going to let us see what the mail is. Interesting. There is an old mailbox hanging on a wooden wall. When I peer inside, I find a postcard. It doesn't look any different. Maybe I was just hearing things. Just to be sure, I try to open the lid one more time. Unlike last time, it opens easily. How is this possible? Did something just happen to get caught so the mailbox refused to open? Or was there a trigger or something? Oh well, not like I'm going to get any answers. Time to see what was locked away. I collect the postcard. It's addressed to M-Town Shop, though I have no idea who the sender is. Oh, the sender's the previous headmaster. I flip the card over and find some words of gratitude written on them. This is obviously some kind of thank you letter from the previous headmaster. Reading the letter more thoroughly, the shop owner apparently donated an old book about M-Town's rituals to the school. An old book about M-Town. Interesting. It should be in Konohara Academy now. Probably in the library. Although if they consider it to be a valuable item, they might have put it away somewhere else for safekeeping. We came this far, and that's where the trail leads, so why don't we try looking for it? Let's go back to Konohara Academy. Okay, but like a tooth would be great, really, guys. Like, vending machine in disuse. A tooth? Maybe a tooth? Wait. I wanted to go back and read the bus stop sign. Oh well. There's no going back now. Oh, that car looks so cool. Kind of like in the shadows. I like it. The trip back to Konohara Academy should only take about 5 minutes if we don't get caught in traffic. Throughout the ride, Michio only stares blankly at the scenery outside. She was in such high spirits earlier. I wonder what's wrong. Say, Mr. Bilicium, do you have a moment?
Michio calls out to me in a low, subdued voice, as if she were waiting for the right moment to spring something on me. I need your opinion on something. It's related to the departed. Mind if I talk about it?
Sure, go ahead.
What is this music?
Oh. I like this music. It's new. That's really cool. So I bought this game with the CD, the soundtrack, and I have not listened to the soundtrack. I was going to. I actually had planned on taking it on a car ride, and I decided against it because I didn't want to listen to the soundtrack until after I got finished with this game. But I'm so excited to listen to it. This is funky. I like it. Anyways, it's about the Departed's notice. Do you remember how many notices we've gotten? Including the one that arrived before I came to the school. So there was ribbon, pianist, gold prize, delinquent, ribbon, pianist, gold prize. 4, right?
You're wrong, unfortunately. The correct answer is 6. Try to recall the 6 notices. The first was ribbon. The second was pianist. The third was model, gold prize, student council, and hooligan. What about the notices? I want to know what the purpose was for issuing those notices. The departed isn't a spirit who goes around committing horrible acts for fun. They issue those notices with a goal in mind. Ever since the model notice, they've been releasing those notices to test you, their husband. But what about the first 2? Well, now that you got me all curious about it too, do you have any ideas? Well, yeah, sort of. If they issue the latter notices as a trial for their husband, I'm guessing that also applies to the first 2. So are you saying there was already a marriage candidate even before I arrived at the school? Yep. If I'm right, who do you think it was? The potential husband before me was Shizo Konoha, maybe? Or would it have been Abe? I kind of think it would have been Abe. Oh, come on. I know you just said whoever was on your mind. I don't know any other male students. Who do you think it was then? Izumi. Oh. Izumi was different from the other victims. Before he was murdered, he said, "The departed is calling me." I actually heard his last words. Seems like he knew the departed's true identity. Seriously, who is it? Well, he didn't actually say. But if he really did learn the departed's true identity, he probably was being put on trial. So the first notice really was issued to test Izumi, huh? I guess he was determined unfit since he abandoned Take and ran away. Maybe that's why he became the second target. I showed up at the Konohara Academy at that time. I don't know what they saw in me, but they chose me as their next potential husband. And you didn't run away and actually accepted the challenge. You tried to save those spirits' souls. That cool side of yours must have fit with their image of an ideal husband. And that concludes Michio Kinakawa's deduction. Man, I sure have a good imagination, right? Maybe I can be a novelist or something.
To be honest, I'm blown away by the story that Michio concocted for me. It's as if the departed themselves is telling me their plans. It's as if she is communicating everything piece by piece to me. I would have never thought that you could piece together their train of thought so well. I'm surprised.
Hee.
Michio smiles, her fingers playing with her white hair.
I suppose it's because that doll was cursed by the departed. Previously, she said she thought the departed was the female doll. I guess she still stands by that opinion. Somehow, I can understand how they feel, like when I was possessed by Kishima. The departed has been longing for an ideal husband for who knows how long. And then they found you.
Michio.
I love you. I want to vow to live happily ever after with you. Then I want to...
Please don't turn into a monster in my car. Eat you up.
Just kidding.
Come on now.
Oh, don't be mad, please. I end up getting carried away when I start acting like the departed. How was it? Did I freak you out?
Don't tease your teacher. It's not funny at all. You nailed it.
Oh, really? You're making me blush.
Yep, you nailed it. We should be arriving at Konohara Academy soon. I opened the window and let out the cool night air. Or let in the cool night air, not out.
I don't think I can bear the indescribable
atmosphere.
Whoa, why are all the lights red?
Oh right, I didn't tell you about this. They've been like this since last night. I think the departed did this, but I could be wrong.
I see. Is this their way of trying to charm you?
In what way exactly?
Let's see. The departed thinks you're their ideal husband, right?
Yeah, they do.
This is something I've seen on TV. In Shinto weddings, bonfires and paper lanterns are usually lit at night to illuminate the path of the newlyweds. I figure these lights are their version of that.
They're really going all out to They're really going all out to perfect every detail for their wedding then.
I mean, everything they do is pretty detailed. They issue fancy notices, even blend themselves in with people in school, but they're having so much fun.
I don't doubt that. Among spirits, there are some who feel their greatest pleasure when they're inflicting fear on humans. Supposedly, an exquisite pleasure that humans cannot comprehend. The departed might be one of those spirits.
It doesn't seem to be causing any harm, so we probably shouldn't pay much attention to it. Let's just ignore it for now.
You're a strong one, aren't you? Shall we go to the library then? Why don't you go back to the dorms? It's getting late.
Boo, don't wanna. Let me tag along until the end. I'm curious to know where this leads.
But
how about I promise I'll go home once we find the old book? Just let me stay until then.
What if I don't want you to?
Then I'll still tag along.
Sheesh. I better find that old book as soon as possible so this curfew-breaking student will head home. The best place to find that book should be the library. Oh, you're gonna end up dead, and I'm gonna end up really, really upset that I killed you.
I need teeth. Like, I really need teeth. Club activities will be halted for the time being. Head home as soon as classes are over. Student council isn't even a club activity, but I've been told to go home early. I can't even finish my work because of that. Hime has the roughest, though. She has it the roughest, huh? So I can go to the connected corridor. You know what I just realized while I'm running? I could have just gone straight to the infirmary. But I guess if there was going to be like a cutscene or items dropped, I would have wanted to know about it. All right, let's go to the library. The bookshelf is filled with all sorts of encyclopedias and pictorial books.
Oh, this is... So the World Beetle Encyclopedia is back, huh? Now you can see as many beautiful beetles as you want.
Michio takes out a book with a stern-looking beetle on the cover.
Man, I really can't get enough of this. All of them are just so cute. I guess this is how men must feel when they look at Gavru magazines.
New word for me. I don't know how to reply to that.
Like, you see this elephant beetle, it's just adorable. Look at its silhouette and its... Look at the silhouette in this corner.
As Michio is about to show a photo from the book, something falls out. Yes, I needed that. It was exactly what I was asking for. Thank you. Bilicium and the others have leveled up. Oh, your spirit has increased by 3. Bilicium and the other spirits have been restored. Thank goodness. Why is that here? And it came from an insect encyclopedia of all things. Are they challenging me? Don't ask me. Oh, it still shows up. Books about plants are arranged on this shelf. Well, there are some who are interested in plants, but not me. I only see plants as bug food. So you are interested in them still. It's funny how you say you're not, but yet you are. There's a wooden book storage cabinet with a glass door. It seems to store special books that aren't allowed to leave the school premise. Since old books would be considered valuable items, it should be somewhere around here. Michio and I split up to check each book storage selection. Each city's local documents and old maps are stored together in the school newspaper folder. I skim the documents hoping to find anything related to the departed, to no avail. I can't seem to find anything that looks like an old book either. Hey, Mr. Bilicium, this book has got some information about M-Town. Michio shows me a book titled H City's Local History, which was self-published by the previous headmaster. Issued a year ago, this book apparently was only given to family and close friends. Thinking it might be connected to the case, I write down the bits about M-Town in my notes. Konohara and M-Town. Konohara used to be a small town named M. The area where Konohara Academy currently sits was once M-Town's downtown. M-Town had its own beliefs and customs, though they gradually disappeared through the westernization that occurred during the Meijing period. Furthermore, the plague that occurred at the end of Meijing era caused a sharp decrease in its population. The survivors all called it the Departed's Wrath, but autopsies determined it to actually be cholera. It's still unknown what the departed refers to, though some speculate it may be tied to their local folklore. M-Town's religion. 2 earthly deities were enshrined in M-Town. One of them was Mushigami. Details regarding this deity are hazy, as there are not many traces of M-Town's customs, though it does beg the question, did these people really make an insect their god? Mushigami Shrine was said to be located in the vicinity of Konohara Academy's old building. So there was a shrine to this deity in the old building. Because the shrine was already half ruined when the school was founded, they demolished it to build the old building. Okay, this is giving me thoughts that I want to verbalize before I lose them. What if the departed is one soul, but the doll is actually this Mushigami spirit who is sort of being overpowered by the departed? And what if it's trying to help me defeat the departed so that it can kind of re-establish itself in this kind of like hierarchy, I guess is the way I would describe it. It's almost like they're trying to take back their like godliness, because a lot of the Japanese like animes and mangas that I've read and stuff, they always kind of like describe that like their desire or need to be worshipped is what like helps fuel them. Almost the reverse of like the way the spirits, like they thrive off of the fear of people. It's like deities thrive off of like the praise and worship. So the more you love this deity, the more you like set offerings to it, the stronger it becomes. And when its shrines are destroyed, it like loses like relevance in the civilization, and so its strength diminishes. So maybe it's trying to like reestablish its strength. Now, here's the other part of this that I'm thinking, right? What if the white-haired girl, because she's such an avid lover of bugs, Mushigami is kind of using her as like a conduit, right? She's almost a maiden of Mushigami, kind of unknowingly, really. It's just that she has a love of bugs, and maybe she doesn't really love bugs as much as she thinks she does. Maybe it's just that she's like, you know, ESPer, and so because she is connected, this deity is able to use her so readily, and so Mushigami's love of insects is sort of washing over her and being like, look, they're cute and they're so beautiful, and you know, so she's just sort of empathically taking on that characteristic. Or it's because she does have a love of bugs. Mushigami was like, oh, one of us. I don't know. So that's kind of the thing that's coming into my mind right now, and I wanted to say it out loud so I don't lose it, because as we go further, I'm sure more information may cause me to change my opinion of that. But that was my first initial feeling was, oh, maybe there's actually a conflict of 2 separate entities at war with each other, and maybe Mushigami is the doll. Mushigami Shrine was said to be located in the vicinity of the Konohara Academy's old building. Okay, yeah. When the first headmaster, Ginzo Konoha, had the shrine demolished, he tried to placate Mushigami and the souls of those who died of the plague. This is how the shrine in the connecting quarter came to be. Both teachers and students might have called it Kokuri Shrine, but that's actually incorrect. It was simply named after the guardian fox of the Mushigami Shrine, which is now standing in the courtyard. Obtain note H city's history. Lord Mushigami, huh? What a beautiful name. I want to know their connection to the departed. How should I put this? There are many scary stories where gods punish humans for destroying their shrines. The departed's wrath began before the shrine was destroyed, though. True, but I don't think those things are completely unrelated, because those who knew about the wrath died one after the other. You see the picture of the talisman over there? I think they had good taste for choosing centipedes, don't you think so, too? It's the theme Cyclopendra subspinipis? Michio points at the photo on the edge of the page about the local history. It's an old talisman with a centipede drawn on it. Looking at the details, the talisman was made at Mushigami Shrine. Apparently, the previous headmaster got his hands on it. In M Tower, people believed they could escape danger by putting this talisman on the front of their houses. Why do I feel like I've seen this talisman somewhere before? Now where was it? Ah, that's right, the shrine on the second floor. There are talismans hanging there. But all we found inside the shrine was the petri dish. There wasn't any information related to M-Town. According to the book, that shrine was built to replace M-Town's Mushigami shrine. So what are disaster prevention talismans doing hanging on a shrine that's been around for so long? Were they that afraid of the Mr. Kokuri rumors or something? I just remembered. I saw that talisman before. Michio, who is peering at the book beside me, speaks up. The shrine in the connecting corridor, right? To my surprise, she shook her head in disagreement. Where did you see it then? Over there. I was completely confused at the time, but I saw that talisman with my own eyes. A place where she was completely confused. Don't tell me she saw that talisman at the cemetery, the old building's art storage room. The clock tower? Oh, you mean when I was possessed by Kishima? I was totally unconscious for that. Not just confused. It's the clock tower. Oh, okay. When both Himi and I were on the ground, I saw that talisman. Why don't we go inspect the clock tower? It's locked, though. It was open that time, no? I mean, it's already nighttime, so who knows? Maybe it's open again. It might be, indeed. It doesn't make any logical sense, but I'm still willing to believe in that slim chance. Let's go to the clock tower. I love that she's leading us around. It definitely makes me feel like she's controlling how the story plays out. This is the library checkout counter. There's nothing particularly unusual about it. I've been checking out books related to insects. I recommend World's Weirdest Insects. I'm sure you do. And guess what? We're going to the infirmary. What does the bag enhancement do? Bilicium success rate during suspensive acts is 5%. I do like that. Reduces 3 action costs during suspensive acts. Muramasa. Reduce 3 damage from the suspensive acts and events.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this one. Three more. All right, I am going to end this here because we're going to go into the clock tower next, or we're going to attempt to. And it's almost an hour and a half that I've been recording. So that should be a long enough video, don't you think? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed. I had an awful lot of fun, and I look forward to playing in the next episode. Guess who the departed is. I'm trying to figure out like how to phrase that. I'm looking forward to playing Guess Who the Departed Is. You know, like a game show. But I'm very excited to see how this all plays out. I do have some funny feelings towards certain characters. But kind of looking back over everything, there's still this really strong feeling that Doryu is maybe the departed. Michio has her creep moments, and I do kind of have weird feelings about that towards her, but I just think that she has too much personality. Maybe that's me misunderstanding how spirits behave, but they normally don't have that level of I don't know, character to them. If we take Doryu and Michio out of the running, right? Those two girls. Could the new principal possibly be the departed? No, I don't think so. I think that the departed is not going to show up as a male. I think they're going to show up as a female, especially since and I was thinking about this last time, and I forgot to kind of mention it. They are trying to project themselves as feminine, you know, as a bride to a husband. So I just don't think that they would try to be like the principal. They wouldn't try to look like the principal. And I don't think that... Who's the other one? Sakamoto is still very much unknown to me. She hates me. There's very minimal, if no contact at all, which makes her prime candidate. But I don't know that would be really a good position for the departed. But who knows? Maybe. I don't think that like that one makes as much sense because she's so busy and she's always doing so much work and all of that. And it makes it seem like there's more to her than what meets the eye. But it also makes it seem like there's no way she could just be kind of floating through the school and looking for the people that she wants to interfere with. You know what I mean? Like people would expect stuff from her. But I don't know. That one, I'm a bit kind of maybe, but not really. I just don't really see how that connects. If it is her and things do start connecting to her, I will really enjoy the story because I will be like, wow. But I kind of don't see where that would go in a direction where it would make any sense. Doryu is really my strong feeling right now. But I haven't made my final decision yet. If you guys suspect one character in particular, or if you feel like certain characters are just absolutely not guaranteed, or are guaranteed not the departed, and you have reasons, put them in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys are theorizing, what you guys have come up with. If you have watched a full playthrough, or if you have played through this game yourself, please no spoilers. I don't want to ruin it for anyone. If I see any spoilers, I will remove them immediately before they're posted. But I do love theory crafting, and I do think it's a lot of fun to do, and I like to share my theories with you, and you are more than welcome to share yours with me if you so like. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope that you all enjoyed. I hope that you will join me for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care, everyone.